Alesia was harmed by a male friend of the family at 6 and told no one. She grew up without anyone knowing about her trauma. She handled the pain silently. As a teen, her family moved from Missouri to Kansas City, Kansas. It gave her a fresh start. She was able to meet new people and explore the new city she lived in. After adjusting, she was able to worry less about her past and get on with her life. She met a man and married in college but divorced him by the time she was 25. She went back to college and started a new job. At her new job, she met 25-year-old Jeremy Warrior. He was tall, friendly, and always made Alesia laugh. Jeremy happened to be on work release from prison. He explained that he was a felon, but it wasn't what it looked like. His ex-wife had come to his house with a gun. An altercation occurred, and when he tried to take the gun from her, it went off and accidentally shot her in the foot. He was sent to prison, but it wasn't really his fault. Alesia could understand and was sympathetic to his situation. She was impressed with his honesty about prison. They both were divorced, so they bonded through the shared experience of bad marriage. Alesia was attracted to the felon and turned on by his charisma. After a while, they began to talk, and one thing led to another. They began a workplace affair and were a couple. Jeremy was finally paroled 3 months later. Now they could go public and be together outside of work. They moved to the outskirts of town into a nice home. Jeremy gets a job as a truck driver with a local cement company. For 2 years it went well. Then Alesia lost her job and had a hard time finding a new one. Jeremy paid the bills, but this left Alesia alone and bored while he was away on the road. She had no one to keep her company. Jeremy had lost his appeal to her since he was now a hard-working man. He wasn't a bad boy anymore. Eventually, Alesia ends a new job and meets 35-year-old Doral Rogers. They met at a party. Alesia had grown tired of Jeremy but was instantly attracted to Doral's swag and confidence. He was an older man. He was on federal probation for a firearms charge. As being an ex-con excited Alesia. He was the type of man Alesia liked. He was what she wanted. Alesia started cheating on her husband with Doral. She started sneaking over to his house every day after work. Jeremy started complaining about her always being gone and disappearing all the time, and coming home late at night with no explanation, or not coming home at all. He knew something was going on when he was away. He told his family that he thought Alesia was cheating. He threatened to divorce her. Alesia continued full steam ahead with Doral and didn't stop. She saw him daily and spent even more time with him. They talked about how good it would be if Jeremy wasn't there. Alesia knew that she wouldn't get the house and would have to start all over if she left. She knew that Doral wasn't working, so she would have to pay their way. After she completed her probation, Alesia was offered a sizable insurance policy as part of her benefits. It would cover her and her husband. The amount she would receive if her husband died was $400,000. Alesia explained and showed this policy to Doral. They discussed the idea that they could have $400K and a new life together if Jeremy were dead. Doral had never seen this type of money in his life, but now it was right in front of him, a dream that could come true. He offered to take care of Jeremy flat out, and Alesia accepted. They started planning to kill Jeremy for the $400,000. Alesia brings the policy home to Jeremy for his signature, and Jeremy, being an over-the-road trucker, sees the logic in providing for his wife in the event that he is hurt or worse. He signs the policy and makes Alesia the beneficiary of the almost $500,000 payout. This was after he had told his family that he suspected that she might be cheating. Nevertheless, he signed it. Alesia couldn't wait to show Doral the signed policy. Their plan was starting to come together, and the money was a real possibility now. The plan they came up with to kill Jeremy was a carjacking gone wrong scenario. Alesia was all in. She even came up with the idea of having Doral shoot her in the leg during the crime to make it look even more real to the police. Alesia knew that this would clear her as a suspect. Doral agrees to shoot her in the leg in a non-lethal way so she won't really be hurt. Doral brings in his friend Jamar Moore, a fellow ex-con he had known for years. Jamar agreed to be the driver for a $2,000 cut of the money. He agreed to help out in a carjacking, but he had no idea of the real plan that Alesia and Doral had in place. They decided not to tell him. Jamar was told that no one would actually get hurt during the carjacking, so the plan was set and complete. One night a month later, Alesia casually told Jeremy that she would need the car the next day, so she would drop him off to work. Jeremy thought nothing of it. At 5:30 the next morning they leave for Jeremy's job. But Doral and Jamar are in a rented SUV several houses down the street, watching them pull out. They were waiting for the signal from Alesia, which was to flicker headlights off and on. This would mean that it was a go. Alesia sees the SUV and gives the signal. She rolls the passenger side window down and stops. Doral jumps out and shoots 5 shots into the window, hitting Jeremy. He then tells Alesia to brace for her shot. He fires 1 round at his own woman. He jumps back in the getaway car with Jamar and they speed off. When the police arrive, they see Jeremy slumped back in the passenger seat and Alesia unconscious on the driver's side. Both were covered in blood. Jeremy is pronounced dead. Alesia is unresponsive and taken to the hospital, where she is stabilized and wakes up. She wakes up feeling relieved that the plan went okay and excited knowing that she would soon be getting the money. She was in a good mood until she realized that she couldn't feel or move her legs in any way. The bullet had traveled and hit her spine. The doctor explained that this was why she was paralyzed. Alesia was shocked and broke down crying. She had trusted Doral to shoot her in a non-lethal way, but he did this. This wasn't the plan. The detectives showed up to question Alesia. They asked her if she knew Doral Rogers. They had already checked her phone records and saw that Doral had called her early that morning. She knew she had to flip on Doral. So she broke down and admitted to the affair, but she told the detectives that he did the shooting because he was impatient. He wanted Jeremy gone and didn't want to wait anymore. She claimed that she had told him to be patient and that they would be a couple soon enough, but that Doral wasn't willing to wait and did the shooting. Doral was arrested the next day and booked for the attack. Alesia is said to be the star witness against him in the trial. But 2 weeks before the court date, she changed her mind and suddenly recanted her idea of Doral. She claimed that she said it under duress with the detectives, and that it wasn't really him. The case got dismissed and Doral was released. He moves in with Alesia and takes care of her night and day. Alesia gets the $400K payout, and she takes Doral and herself on shopping sprees on a regular basis. The plan had worked for the most part. They lived happily ever after for about 3 years, until cold case detectives decided to question Jamar more since they had seen his number in Doral's phone records. When Doral and Alesia got the money, they never bothered to pay Jamar. It was supposed to be $2,000, but they never paid him a cent. When he called, they avoided him and didn't return his calls. He eventually gave up but held a grudge. When the detectives brought him in for questioning, he happily told them everything, from Alesia being the brains to Doral being the shooter to him being the driver. His deal got him a 3-year sentence for his part in the crime, while Doral turned himself in and received 20 years. Alesia decided to go to trial, pleading not guilty. The jury found her guilty, and she was sentenced to 50 years. It is possible that she may never get out.